Gang. It's lucky. It's lucky. And lucky we trust. What up?
What's good, everybody? It's Lucky. I hope y'all been taking care of yourselves. It's been a minute since y'all seen my face, and shit. Hey man, it's been phenomenal. Man, it's been 4 months plus since I posted a video. So much has changed since then. Y'all may be wondering, why did Lucky disappear? I guess that's what we gonna talk about in this video. So without further ado, let's get into it.
They looking at me like, who is that? Lil' hoe fell in love. She said that Lil Lucky smell like racks. I got racks on.
So ladies and gentlemen, my last video was posted in November 17th, meaning that today makes 4 months and 2 days. In 4 months and 2 days, I've done so much. I don't really want to talk too much about school. Don't want to talk about, people I cut off. But just know I cut off some people. I stopped hanging with a certain group of, individuals. I almost got in trouble at school, something that could have put me in a bad position. But by God's grace, I got out of that. Dealt with some death in the family. Man, I was just dealing with a lot of shit last semester, I ain't gonna lie. And I feel like I wasn't at the best version of myself to even be able to come give y'all wisdom and advice. You feel me? I feel like externally things were looking phenomenal, but internally it was just feeling draining. Having to be there for everybody, having to put on some big boy shoes, big boy pants, and take care of some big boy responsibilities, whether it was within the house, with the people in my circle, as well as with the people I was making content for. But I was going brazy with those videos. I was making 2 videos a week and balancing the schoolwork that I had, as well as balancing trading in the stock market, as well as balancing being, a son, a brother, and then all the other million things that I had on my plate. And, whenever I started to, put all of these different things on my plate, I started to burn out. And once again, whenever your mindset and your habits drift, then the results that you get are gonna also drift as well. So y'all need to keep that in mind. Every couple of weeks to every month, you gotta make sure that you're reflecting on what you've been doing. And you gotta be able to recognize if an adjustment needs to be made. If you are under the age of 25, you need to know that you're currently in the foundation building phase. Meaning, everything you're doing is for the long-term goal of success. Nothing should be to get successful overnight. That's a very detrimental mentality that you have to get out of your system. So keep that in mind. If you're under the age of 25, you have to recognize that everything that you do has to be putting you in a position to be successful in the future, right? So your whole mentality, your whole perspective should be, I have to be willing to do the hard things now so that in the future, I won't have to live a life like this. I might go through some suffering, I might go through some adversity or some extenuating circumstances. I might want to quit. I might not want to make it happen anymore because of all of these different variables that life can throw at you. But your perspective has to be to continue to push forward and continue to go. Passion alone is not going to be the sole reason why you get to your destination. You have to recognize that passion is an ingredient, and you have to pair passion with other things like structure. Structure and discipline is extremely important. If you don't have a goal, if you don't have a destination, then you will go nowhere. Think about it. So I believe last semester in my life, I was lacking a little bit of foundation. Knowing what I know now, I would have been well equipped to handle the amount of success that I got last semester. If a motherfucker, they start making a bunch of money and they don't have the structure and the systems to be able to keep that money, it's just a recipe for disaster, right? That's why mentorship is extremely important. It's why you have to be able to put yourself in rooms and situations in which you're not the smartest person in the room, where you're actually the dumbest person in the room, objectively. So yeah, that's something that I dealt with last semester, and I'm not just telling you this because it's something cool to talk about. I actually dealt with this shit, the lack of having structure in my life. I was a very disciplined individual, don't get me wrong, but having structure and having foundation, that right there is extremely important. And all the millionaire mentors that I have in my circle, they were all advising me not to drop out. They were all advising me to continue sticking to the course, continue your engineering degree, As soon as you graduate, you got 2 more years. As soon as you graduate, not only will you be making 6 figures, but you'll also get access, and you'll also have the credibility in your name to be able to say you made and you did what most people don't do, which is graduate college, especially if you look like this. But street credibility, that's something that really stuck with me, and it took having a mentor who looked like me, who was in an extreme position of success, to be able to relay that information to me for me to be able to understand. So what is street credibility? Or what is credibility to begin with, you may even ask? Credibility is the ability to be believed in or trusted. If you walk into a room and you have no accolades, if you have no proven track record of success, if you have no proof that you are an expert in whatever you're talking about, people are not going to listen to you. In layman's terms, you'll be talking, but they won't be hearing anything. So building street credibility in and of itself is extremely important, which is why I say if you're under the ages of 25, you have to be able to build your foundation up. Some people build credibility a lot faster than others, and that's phenomenal, but other people don't. So you have to be able to recognize that regardless or not if you're able to build credibility fast or not, you have to be able to have structure in your life to be able to recharge you so that burning out is never in the equation. Burning out or burnout is something that I faced, and truly, man, it could put you in a terrible, I truly mean it when I say it could put you in a terrible headspace. Having a lot of success in the short term is something that I would sacrifice 1,000,000 times or over putting myself in a position where success can happen consistently, not just in 3 months and then it's gone objectively. So keep that in mind. Building yourself up and having a very solid foundation is extremely important. And if you can get that foundation, as well as put yourself in a position to have systems to be able to recharge whenever you're feeling down or whenever you're feeling like shit is not okay or whatever, I'm telling you, man, success will be inevitable. And it will no longer be a matter of if you'll be successful, but when. And then at that point, because you have the systems in place, because you have a very much so, I'm open to learning, I'm open to change, and I'm a reflector type of personality and perspective, over a period of time, you're just going to be building foundation. You'll just be building bricks on bricks on bricks on bricks on bricks until one day you'll look back at all of that shit and say, God damn.
Tell me what we can be. Girl, I love your energy. I wanna hear your sound. I love it when you speak.
It's crazy how I started off with this, but I was blessed with all of this. Man, it's crazy how I had to go through all of this to be able to get this. So keep that in mind. Building a foundation and having a foundation that has systems that allow you to recharge is extremely important. Because if you face burnout, you might get into a slump in which you don't want to do shit, in which you start to throw away the shit that you've already been building. And now you have to put yourself in a position to build again. So that's essentially what I've been doing. I've been building my foundation. I've been focusing on my school, 4.0 season. I know I didn't get to this school that I'm at right now by luck, especially being on an engineering scholarship. None of this shit happened by luck. Where I'm at right now, shit didn't happen by luck. This shit took hard work, faith, dedication, a lot of resilience, and the ability to adapt, the ability to maneuver, the ability to be like Bruce Lee and be like water. Man. But yeah, man, that's why I disappeared for the last couple of months. I've essentially been building myself up. I've essentially been building a very solid foundation. So in 10 years, when I'm starting multiple businesses, bro, I swear to God, let's just say that business fails. Let's just say I go bankrupt. All my life, the lowest position I can be in a company because of the foundation that I've built is vice president. Real talk. And it might not be my company, but I'll be vice president and I'll be making 500 bands a year. Tell me I won't start another company. Come on, man. Moral of the story, I disappeared for several months because I was building myself up. And every time I get a short-term success, which is what you see on social media, I want to say that I'm grateful for it, and I recognize that it took a lot of hard work to make it happen, but I continue to still look at the finish line, which is long-term success. Short-term success is cool, but I'll trade it in an instant for long-term success. So I want y'all to keep that in mind. I want y'all to remember that building yourself is the most important thing that an individual has to do, because if you have a strong foundation, bruh, it don't matter what life throws at you, you're gonna continue to remain standing strong. So ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to make this video before I made any other videos, and if this video helps only one person, my job is completed. I no longer carry the burden of thinking that I have to help everybody, because I'm not no superhero, man. I can't say everybody, but yeah, man, I just wanted to provide y'all with some value. It's very early in the morning. I've already worked out. I've already woken up. I woke up before the sun, which is ridiculous. Now the sun is glowing on me. So yeah, keep that in mind. I want y'all to keep grinding and never look down on anybody unless you're willing to give them a hand to help them up. It's Lucky, and I'm out.
I've been all on my grind ever since I changed my life. I can't help but to sigh, sipping champagne on a plane. I'm looking at the sky. We only get one life, so we gotta live it right. Gotta live it right. We only get one life. I gotta make it work. I can't do this shit twice. I can't do this twice. Won't waste no time. I don't get sleep. It's fucking with my mind. You can't get love if you can't get right. And she